That's a wrap on the NFL season, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ENT Football. And that was the Super Bowl. What a Super Bowl it was. Throughout the entire game, you didn't know if it was going to be the Eagles coming out on top. You didn't know if it was going to be the Chiefs coming out on top. There was big plays here, big plays there. It was just a good overall football game. My thoughts are going to be kind of just rambled in this, but before I get into my breakdown or whatever, go down below. Like the video, comment on the video what you thought about the Super Bowl. Subscribe to ENT Football if you have not already. And let's get right into this breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. So, the Chiefs won the game 38-35. The Eagles had a total of 417 yards. The Chiefs had 340 yards. The Eagles controlled a majority of this game. They had almost 11 minutes more time of possession. They had almost 20 more total plays than the Chiefs. They had over 100 more passing yards than the Chiefs, which was surprising. And that's the first point that I want to make. I was talking to people because, I'm not trying to sit here and act like I'm super known, but a lot of the people who know me as the guy who talks about sports, the guy who loves sports. So throughout the week, I had a lot of people asking me who I thought was going to win the Super Bowl and why. The answer that I would give people is, if the Eagles control the game, if they're able to establish the run, and if they're able to not have to play from behind, I thought the Eagles were going to win this game. But if the Chiefs got out ahead in front, maybe they got a 10-0 lead, just getting out in front quickly, I thought was the Chiefs' best chance at winning this game, because as good as the Eagles are, as dominant as the Eagles are, we really haven't seen them battle through any type of adversity. A lot of their games, they just steamrolled the team, specifically in the playoffs also, right? They played the Giants, they blew them out. They played the 49ers, who had zero quarterbacks at halftime, and that game wasn't competitive. And obviously they had a great regular season record. For the majority of the season, even though this Eagles team was dominant, it wasn't really battle tested, right? They didn't really have to go through that much adversity. And so what I was telling people is, if the Eagles got to a point where they were down quickly and they had to fight back, it was going to be interesting to see how they would respond to that. But I was wrong in my assessment. Because the Eagles controlled most of this game. As I said, almost 20 more total plays than the Chiefs. They had over 11 more minutes of time of possession, and they had more yards than the Chiefs. Also, these Eagles drives were very long. They had a total of 18 third downs, which on paper, 18 third downs is not a good stat. You don't want to have 18 third downs. You don't want to be consistently getting to third down, but they were converting on third down, and especially on fourth down. And by the way, I have this in one of my notes. The QB sneak is cheese, bro. The Eagles are like that team that you play in Madden, and they just run the same plays over and over, and they're like, if you can't stop it, I'm going to keep doing it. And that's the QB sneak, bro. It's not fair. NFL scriptwriters, in the next meeting, they need to nerf the Eagles QB sneak, because that's just unfair. Anyways, I kind of got off topic there. I was wrong in my assessment because the Eagles did control most of this game. But what it came down to was a couple big plays down the stretch of this game that led to the Chiefs taking the lead and eventually winning. A huge one was the Kadarius Toney return, the punt return. It was late in the fourth quarter. The Eagles punted, and it was like, all right, the Chiefs can get a good drive right here. But nah, Kadarius Toney responds with the longest punt return in NFL Super Bowl history. So shout out to Kadarius Toney, because when that trade went down, I was like, man, the Chiefs got a steal from the Giants in this one. He had some good contributions throughout the season on the Chiefs, but this punt return, obviously a lot of it was great blocking by the Chiefs, but that was a great punt return by Kadarius Toney. One of the underrated plays from this game. Also, another guy I want to mention, Isaiah Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco, baby. Now, Isaiah Pacheco, coming out of Rutgers, was not a highly touted prospect, but quickly made his presence known on the Chiefs. He's not the most flashy. He's not the most, he's not really a pounded down your throat type runner. He's not the most agile. He's not the most shifty, but he's a hard runner, and he is quick. He's very quick, and that's something that stands out. That's an eye test type thing. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Pacheco tonight had 15 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. Shout out to him. He played a great game tonight. And another point I wanted to make was that this was kind of flipped. I was expecting the Eagles to control the run game and for the Chiefs to control the passing game. Now, the Eagles running backs, very unfortunate. If you add in Jalen Hurts' rushing yards, they had a decent day running the ball, but if you exclude Jalen Hurts, the Eagles running backs had 17 carries for 45 yards, an average of 3.7 yards per carry. Very disappointing from the Eagles running backs today. I have to be honest. A lot of their runs were just quick 2-yard gains. Just nothing really getting going through the run game with the Eagles. And so I do think that hurt them. However, they did have a great day throwing the ball. They had a total of Jalen Hurts had 304 passing yards, which is very good for Jalen Hurts. I thought he played a very good game today. A huge factor in this game also is the Chiefs' protection of Patrick Mahomes. Coming into today when the Patrick Mahomes was obviously coming in with the high ankle sprain, the Chiefs protected him very well today. They allowed a total of 0 sacks. That's so impactful. When you can protect your quarterback, give him time to throw the ball, give him time to accurately read the field, that's honestly one of the biggest factors I think of why the Chiefs ended up winning this game is their protection of Patrick Mahomes. One huge point I wanted to make. The field today. The field today was terrible. Straight up terrible. I saw a post on Instagram saying that the NFL spent like 2 years preparing this field. They were prepping it at a nearby farm in Phoenix for 2 years. They've been, because the Cardinals, they have that stadium where you can pull in and out the grass. They've been doing that for the last 2 weeks, making sure. They spent $800,000 on this field. And this field was trash. And it did play a factor in this game. Whether you like to admit it or not, it did play a factor in this game. People were cutting. Anytime somebody tried to pivot, put weight on one leg to cut one way, they were just slipping everywhere. Defensive ends were trying to rush the quarterback, and they were slipping. Running backs were trying to cut, and they were slipping. Isaiah Pacheco scored a touchdown, tried to celebrate, and he slipped. So that did play a factor in this game. The Eagles players, a lot of them at halftime ended up changing their cleats to longer spikes on the bottom. But the field today, and it's unfortunate because in the NFL's biggest game of the year, their field was terrible. It was so bad. I can't believe how bad they got that wrong. It's unfortunate, but both teams had to deal with it, so it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. By the way, if you see me looking over here, it's because I have some notes written down on these two little whiteboards right here. The refs. Shut up. Please shut up about the refs, because I know it's a narrative right now that the refs like Kansas City. The refs want Kansas City to win. The NFL wants Kansas City to win. It was one call. And even the dude, James Bradbury, I believe it was, admitted that he held, I think it was Juju on that play, that he held Juju. So it's like, people just like to whine on social media, to be honest with you. Okay, let's say this game was flipped. Let's say that call is against the Chiefs and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Not a single eye would be batted. Not a single eye. But because the narrative out right now is that the NFL wants the Chiefs and the refs favor the Chiefs, that's unfortunately is going to be what a lot of people remember from the Super Bowl, and not the fact that it was actually a really good game. I think that's all the key points that I wanted to hit. Overall, it was just a great game. It was a great season of NFL football. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the season is over because there's going to be no more football. No more football for a while. And that's my favorite thing to come in this room and talk about. There's going to be a lot of NFL pre-draft content on this channel. I'm going to be deep diving into a lot of different prospects. I'm going to be doing mock drafts. I'm going to be reviewing who my favorite prospects are, people who I think have the highest chance of being busts. So stay tuned for that stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot of off-season content. There's going to be trades, signings, releases, all that type of stuff. So stay tuned on this channel. Thank you for being with me for a great season of NFL football. And yeah, I know that this was kind of just a quick ramble about the Super Bowl, but it was a great game. It was a great game. And I hope people remember it for being a great game. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Go down below, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.